So you're all asking why I'm starting with the Super Bowl. Actually, that lady there, Katy Perry, didn't say, Super Bowl, are you ready to rock? She said, Super Bowl, are you ready to shop? She said that because last year the Super Bowl was completely shoppable. If you had a smart TV or you wanted to buy some of the Pepsi merchandise through Twitter, you could do just that. It was perhaps the first indication, the biggest indication we've seen yet about what retail might become. Retail that will increasingly become a single API that plugs into all of our marketing and brand communication. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about now. Shop everywhere. But first, a little bit about me, I guess. The reason I'm standing here is because my grandmother owned a shop. She owned a shop in Manchester. I think it's what you would call a mum and pop shop or even traditional retail here in India, right? And what she was fantastic about was really understanding her local customer. She told me very clearly that if her customers love to shop around. I think we call that things like showrooming now, but it was called shopping around back then. And they wanted value and they wanted experience. And I've learned from that, and they're values that I've continued. But I don't think my grandmother's shop from 50 years ago, which no longer exists in Manchester, would have been anything like would be today, right? And she certainly wouldn't have expected the biggest TV spot in the world, the Super Bowl TV spot, to become a shop window where you could actually buy things from. So, I'm from Chale. Anybody in the room know who Chale are? Hands up. Fantastic. One person. That's awesome. Does anybody in the room recognize this? Hey, okay, we did that. All right, we did that. So that is a virtual store in a Seoul subway for Tesco's, right? It was the time when people realized that this device is going to start completely changing how we behave in retail and how people shop. It's been copied all over the world. I've actually now got 26 versions of it. All right? You can see here, Tesco's did it back in the UK at Gatwick, Procter & Gamble did it for the Olympics. The large image there is in Australia, went to Santiago in Chile, Chicago, China. It's gone everywhere. I get asked, did it work? And the honest truth is, of course not. If it did, they would be absolutely everywhere, right? On every corner there would be a virtual store just like that. I guess the point about all of this, though, is that at that point in time, 2011, only 11.9% of Koreans shopped with a smartphone. All right? 11.9%. Today, last year, 4 years later, 40.9% of all e-commerce in Korea was mobile. All right? Just think about that huge change. And in the last month of last year, 2015, so I don't know, November or December, 43% of the Koreans bought something on a mobile device. All right? So a huge change in shopping behavior. The other market, which is obviously quite interesting in this, is actually China. Because there you'll be familiar with things like Alibaba and Alipay, and some of you keep in touch with the news will know that Apple announced yesterday they were going to China for mobile payments with Apple Pay. Over there, 34% have bought something in the last month on their phone in China. In the UK, it's 27%. Last month on a mobile device. Any guesses on what the number is for India? 18? 50? More than 50? Okay, we've got a spread. This gentleman here is the closest. The number I have is 17% have bought something on a mobile phone. So, kind of what does that mean? Well, it starts to mean that our idea of where a retail might be is changing. Okay? This is my smartphone. This is my own personal shopping mall. All right? My new definition of loyalty is which retailer's app stays on my phone when I change it. Right? Everything about convenience is in here. It means now that no longer could we just talk about the point of purchase being in a retail environment. Your point of purchase is now wherever your customer is.